Hey, what's up, guys? It's Michael, and today I'm bringing you a Metal Gear Rising gameplay and commentary. Rising Revengeance, whatever. We all know what it's called. There are a few things to note about this video before it continues, which is going to continue anyway because I'm recording this in post instead of doing it live like most people would do. I edited out all of the cutscenes. Why did I edit out all the cutscenes, you may ask? Well, if I had kept the cutscenes in, you would have gotten 2 minutes of gameplay and 15 minutes of cutscenes. This is like any old Hideo Kojima game. All of it consists of cutscenes and very little gameplay. That doesn't mean I don't like it, though. It's a really fun game thus far, or at least from what I've played. It asked me to do a tutorial there. I said yes. I cut out the tutorial, too, just because I took forever during the tutorial. So, right now we're in-game. And it's actually a really good looking game. The camera angles work really well. I haven't had any issues with the camera. They even have the codecs and things like that from the other Metal Gear games, so it definitely feels Metal Gear-ish. Until you get to this part. Then it stops feeling like a normal Metal Gear game. It starts feeling like Devil May Cry, but in a Metal Gear setting. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I like the combat, but it's really hard to get used to it first. As you can see, I'm doing tons of combos. I don't really know what I'm doing. The parry thing that it asked me to do, it's like, parrying in this game doesn't work. Or I feel it doesn't work. I'll be trying to cut somebody, and then I can't cut them, or I'll be trying to dodge, and I won't be able to dodge using the parry. And parrying seems so like iffy. The way it's supposed to work is an enemy attacks you, and you can either do a dodge with the parry or you can attack back. And it doesn't work most of the time. So it's weird. It feels weird. But cut out another cutscene there because it's like 5 minutes where he just talks about killing people. So yeah, great. And now I have a Skype call, which I'm going to go ahead and ignore because I'm a baller and I don't feel like going through that. And I'm also hoping that my audio didn't change channels just now. So we're going to find out. But currently they have, the way they do the codecs, or at least the conversational pieces, is you can actually walk around and look at things while talking. Which is a little weird because as you can see right here, I'm like walking in a circle. So it's kind of like this awkward thing that I just do for a little while. That codec session took like a minute. So there's definitely a lot of talking in the game. And again, it's a Hideo Kojima game, so you kind of got to expect it. And here we go again. It's happening again. This time in a slightly different manner. There's tons of different ways that those things show up throughout the game, and it's kind of weird and incoherent, but you get used to it. So, he tells me that I can sneak up on enemies, and that's what I'm trying to do here. And by pressing the B button, which is the action button, I can stab him like a mofo, which is what I just did. And there's a ton of blood. Like, he just sprays out blood. Eh. It's a really bloody game. Here we go into another conversational piece, which, again, there's tons of these. I feel like every time I round a corner, the game's like, oh, no, let's go ahead and stop your progress and let you have a discussion about the story or something insignificant that might not be relevant to the actual game. So he was telling me there about this little screen, which I feel is kind of cheating because it lets me see enemies. It highlights the enemies, and in some instances you can see through walls, so you can tell if an enemy's on the other side of a wall or not. And I get the idea. Like, it's supposed to help you with stealth and to keep you from getting murdered. And this is still a Metal Gear game, so they still put an emphasis on stealth. Whether that actually works or not it remains to be seen. The stealth mechanic I have a hard time like getting used to, because I can't tell if running triggers enemies or not. But right here, I do another stealth kill because I ran up to him, but he didn't notice. There's actually a later point in the video I die like 8 times, but there's a later point in the video where I try to stealth kill somebody by running up on him, and he knows every time I'm there. So it's just like this weird inconsistency. I don't understand how the stealth mechanics work in contrast to the rest of the mechanics in the game. So here I'm seeing cheating, like I mentioned a little while ago, looking through a wall, and it works because I can sneak up right on this guy and just show him who's boss with my big giant thing. But I do that to everybody. I like showing them who's boss with my big giant thing. Okay, enough about penis. So there are 2 guys down in that street, and they actually have a hostage, which is an interesting mechanic of the game. There are still populated cities, which is weird for a Metal Gear game because you don't normally see other people other than enemies you can kill. They have a hostage, and killing the hostage is obviously not good. So here I'm seeing stealth killing one guy and then just chopping up this other guy. I think I figured out how to get health back finally with this guy. So you can pull out like their little digital spinal cable things, and I did that here, which was pretty cool. It had like a really nice effect to it. But if you want to get health, you have to do that to every enemy. Like, there's a lot of instances in the game where you'll be playing and you don't know how to get health, or there's no enemies nearby, and you'll just die the second you go into like a mini boss. Which the mini bosses in this game are like, they're difficult. The game's difficulty just jumps everywhere. It's very Devil May Cry-esque, because you'll have one instance where these enemies are really really easy, yada yada yada. Then you go into another instance like this one right here where you fight the gecko, and it ends up being like this big problem, especially when you fight more than one gecko. There are a few instances in the game where the game thinks that you can take more than one, and it's wrong. But yeah, there's a lot of quick time events too. So as you could see a second ago, I took the gecko and spun it around. I took a giant tank with legs and spun it around. If that's not cool, I don't know what is. So here you can see the gecko stomping on me, and then I stomp back on it, doing another quick time event, just stabbing it in the head. Now I think when it highlights the blue, that's a weak point, or a point in which I've done considerable amount of damage. And here we go again. I'm gonna swing it around. Now, unlike in most games where you would do something like that, in this game it actually hurts enemies nearby, so you can use that to your advantage. So here you see me kind of getting health back again. I take out his cable and squish it, and I get some health. That also recharges your like slow-mo bullet time gauge, which is a useful bonus. So, we have about a minute left in the video, and this is actually going to be a 2-part video. I don't know if I'm going to talk about the game as much in the second video, but I kind of figured I'd at least do a little bit of an overview as to how, or at least my opinion of the game, and I think it's a good game, but comparing it to something like Devil May Cry, which is what you should compare it to, because it's like Devil May Cry, it's an unfair comparison. But at the same time, Platinum Games, they're really good at these kinds of games, and it definitely has like the easy combo system that Bayonetta had. So if you're good at Bayonetta, you liked Bayonetta, you probably like this game. If you like something more like Devil May Cry, where it's a very high level to like a very high barrier of entry, then this game's like in between. It's very in between Bayonetta and Devil May Cry in terms of skill set. That still doesn't mean the difficulty spikes I was talking about earlier don't apply. They definitely still apply. The game can get really difficult at times, and at other times it can be just stupid easy. I also have a hard time with the controls. The controls are really awkward, and I don't really understand why they have the slow-mo as a trigger button, but whatever. It's actually set to the RT, but anyway. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoy me dying, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.
Uh-oh, error.